When we imagine work in medieval England, we often picture endless toil and hardship. And in many ways, labour was demanding. Yet it followed a rhythm. Tasks changed with the seasons, and the calendar of saints' days and Sundays created natural pauses in the working year. In this film, we explore how ordinary people worked, on the land and in the towns, and how daily labour shaped family life, community, and routine. For most people, work was closely tied to the land. More than 4/5 of the population lived in rural communities, many as peasants bound to a lord's manor, working in exchange for the right to farm small plots. Their labour followed the agricultural year, ploughing and sowing in spring, weeding and haymaking through summer, and harvesting in autumn. Winter slowed everything. Frozen ground reduced fieldwork, and time was spent repairing tools, caring for animals, and preparing for the year ahead. The working day was shaped by daylight rather than clocks. Labour usually began at first light and ended at sunset. Sundays were not working days, set aside for church, rest, and visiting neighbours. In addition to this weekly pause, feast days and saints' days, sometimes 40 or more each year, offered further breaks, reducing the true working year to around 9 months rather than 12. Work was rarely done alone. Medieval households functioned as working units. Men, women, and children all contributed. Men often handled the heaviest tasks, such as ploughing and managing livestock. Women worked in the fields during busy seasons while also cooking, cleaning, spinning thread, and caring for children. Children gathered fuel, guarded crops, and tended small animals. Home and work were inseparable, often sharing the same single room where life and labour blended together. Beyond farming, many people earned a living through trades. Towns were home to blacksmiths, carpenters, bakers, clothmakers, and other skilled workers. These trades were organised through guilds, which controlled training, quality, and prices, while also providing mutual support. Apprenticeships often began around the age of 12. Young apprentices lived with a master, learning their craft over several years before becoming journeymen. Weekly markets allowed both farmers and craftsmen to sell goods, exchange produce, and earn modest income. Payment was not always made in coins. Labour could also be owed as part of rent or service to a lord rather than treated as simple employment. For many families, selling surplus produce at market was one of the few ways to obtain cash. The pace of work rose and fell with the year. Harvest time demanded long hours and intense effort, while winter brought quieter days. Festivals, holy days, and seasonal pauses were built into the social calendar, offering relief from labour rather than leisure in the modern sense. Work also carried risk. Injuries were common, particularly when handling animals, heavy tools, or farm equipment. Skeletal evidence from medieval England shows high rates of fractures, especially among men engaged in agricultural labour. Without modern medicine, even small injuries could become serious or life-changing. Yet despite its hardships, work gave people identity and purpose. Individuals were known by their craft, their fields, or their place within the community. Guild members found belonging through shared rules and mutual aid. Ordinary labour sustained medieval England, feeding families, building towns, supporting trade, and holding society together through routine effort and cooperation. Understanding how ordinary people worked allows us to see medieval England not simply as a world of hardship, but as a society shaped by rhythm, of work and rest, duty and community, repeated day after day, across generations. Here on The British Way, we explore history, places, and everyday life through calm, reflective films.